everyone, welcome back. Today we are talking about how to have your it girl summer, how to be the it girl, the ultimate one, your fullest self.
Your fullest self, especially if you feel like life has been boring or you're in a slump. And when we say it girl, it's not like the it girl aesthetic on TikTok. We're
No.
not talking about that. We're just talking about being your own it girl, being
Yes.
you for yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so we've been talking about this a lot. Obviously, last year, well, not obviously, I guess if you haven't listened. I'm like, everyone's been here since the beginning. But last year we kind of talked about like healing girl summer. And I think the year before we talked about hot girl summer. So we're in the era of it girl summer.
Dang, this is our third summer.
Yeah.
Okay, this is awesome. It's still a healing girl summer, always.
Yes. Oh,
We
yeah.
always are healing. We're always working on ourselves.
We always have trauma.
We we always do, especially for me this time of year. But
Now me.
now you. So we have just been kind of in like the spring summer vibes. How are we going to be our best selves? We want to have the best summer, and a lot of that is like, yeah, it's going and doing fun stuff, but it's also like just being the best you and like self-improvement.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that today. Speaking of kind of being in a slump, I feel like I kind of am. Like, I don't really have anything going on
Mhm.
that's noteworthy to share. But I want to talk about your new tattoos.
Okay.
Give a little tour.
Gladly.
And if you listen on Spotify, we now have integrated video. So if you're listening on
Yes.
Spotify, you can see. You don't have to go to YouTube.
Mhm.
So do a little tattoo tour for everybody.
Okay, so yeah, go to Spotify right now or YouTube. But if you can see, so I got like these little butterflies with sparkles, which are very intricate and they go along with like my hand sparkles.
On like collarbone,
yeah,
upper,
on my
lower shoulder
collarbone.
area.
Yeah. I got some angel wings, but on the back of my left arm with a little halo, because that used to be my nickname when I was little. And then I got on my ribs, Love Galore in cursive with a heart, which is like one of my favorite SZA songs. So, oh, and I got this sun the week before I got these other three. So, 4 new tattoos since the last time we recorded. But yeah, no, I'm obsessed with them. I think the butterfly one is my favorite just because I see it.
It's so cute.
Um,
And it really fits the aesthetic.
Thanks. Yeah, I love it. So,
I know
yeah.
you got them and now I'm jealous. Like I really need to go get mine. But I
You
told
do.
myself I was done for the year.
Really?
Yeah. I want to get my piercings, which I've told you.
Yeah.
The ones that I want. But we'll see. It's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
not cheap.
I'm done for the year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the beginning of the year, I had 0 tattoos, and now I have one. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I have 7 now.
And I'm so jealous.
And I had 0, and they're like invisible places, like my hands. So, but I love them. It's really made me feel like expressive about myself.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah. So
That's how I feel about them too. I'm like, I have so many like saved on Pinterest that I feel like would fit me
Mhm.
and that I really want. So I'm excited to get them.
Yeah. And I will be there with you. Shout out to the girl who did them. Maybe I'll post a picture and then tag her, and
She did a really good
everyone
job.
can see. Yeah, she did good. So, so no life updates for you. Nothing you want to share with the
No.
class.
No.
All right.
So let's get into our small business feature. And if you're new, and if you've been around, this is a new segment that we have. So the
Yes.
first episode of every month, we call them our lifestyle episodes. And that's just like not necessarily like a feminist topic, but it's just like something that we have been wanting to talk about, like today. And instead of doing a feminist highlight for the first episode of the month, we started a new thing where we're doing small business features. Today's feature is Whittier Cafe, who is here local in Denver. So we sent them a few questions, which Haley's going to read the questions. I'll read the answers. So let's start with one.
So in this scenario, I'm the interviewer, Ken's is Whittier Cafe, but these were their answers. So first we asked, what inspired you to open Whittier Cafe?
And these are all from the owner herself. I wanted to educate people about the origins of coffee. The best beans originate in East Africa, and yet the appreciation isn't there for our gift to the world.
What kind of activism do you focus on? What specific causes?
We are a social justice cafe and ground zero for social and political activism in the city. We are a safe space for people who feel beat up or abused by different systems of oppression. Our activism is broad but mostly focuses on education, social justice, and progressive politics.
Have you had any struggles as a female business owner slash entrepreneur?
Coffee presents as a very masculine, white space in our city and country, but in reality, coffee is very feminine and very black. So we stand out in that culture here. We face the normal struggles of being seen as a credible business, one that deserves capital from the lending institutions, or that deserves what we charge for our products. Even though we're priced much less than our counterparts, there is sometimes a resistance from folks who think we should always operate at a discount. And they can be found on Instagram and Twitter at Whittier Cafe, and they're also on Facebook as well. So if you're local in Denver, or even if you aren't and just want to check out their pages, definitely go, because the reason they stuck out to me was because they earned the nickname from Denverites of being the social justice cafe. So it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Pretty cool to be a safe space. And she brought up some things that like I never thought about. Like I didn't know that like the coffee business was like very masculine and white,
Like
but
how it presents. Well,
yeah.
white for sure.
Yes, but like masculine, but it's like, oh no, it's like feminine and inclusive and everything. So I love that.
Yeah. Thank you, Whittier Cafe.
Thanks. All right. Well, like we said, we're talking about like how to have that it girl life when you feel like it's boring, you need to spice it up, like when you just feel like you're in a slump, like you said you were feeling.
Yeah. It Girl is basically feeling like your highest self. It's not
Exactly.
about anybody's idea of what an it girl is. Everybody's an it girl.
Right.
It's just how you feel at your
It's
best.
yes, it's when you feel at your best, when you feel
Mhm.
like you are top tier. That doesn't mean that you don't have moments where
Mhm.
you're not feeling it, but we're not talking about like the clean girl, like everything's
Aesthetic.
perfect aesthetic
Yeah,
on
we're not
TikTok.
talking about that.
No. So it girl summer, um this is the summer where we fully feel our own energy and we fully come into that energy. So, whatever that means for you,
Mhm.
you're dressing how you want, you're doing the activities you want, you're not letting people treat you how you don't want to be treated.
Mhm.
Like all of that, you know?
Mhm.
It's just like fully stepping into the energy that your higher self has.
Yes. I love that. That was so good.
Thank you.
So, this list that we have put together is things that we have done or things that we want to do for our It Girl Summer, and they're just suggestions.
Yeah.
So, we'll go through the list.
So, something for me that I feel like has just made a huge difference is my routine. So I kind of got into a slump
Mhm.
um for like a minute there. And then I was like, no, you know what? And oh, also another thing, I didn't really like alone time. Like
Mhm.
I really just liked being with other people, um like the people that are close to me.
Right.
But I've really learned to cherish my alone time and my time after I clock out. And most days I have like a very specific routine where I think the biggest thing is making sure that your space is clean every day.
Yeah.
So every day after I clock out, I make sure that the room is clean. And then I'll go and like clean the kitchen if it's not clean and just making sure that I have a good space for the night.
Right.
And I feel like that can help you step into that positive energy if you cleanse the space around you. So that was part of my routine. And then another thing that I just like to do was just put my big headphones on and just completely tune out everything else and listen to a podcast or listen to music or, do whatever you want to do while you're walking around and, cleaning, doing all that. But that was just really nice for me to get into a routine. So I feel like part of It Girl Summer is getting into some sort of routine that feels good for you.
Yes, I have 3 points I wanna make to that.
All right, let's hear.
So, first, I wanna touch on the alone time thing because I think
Mhm.
that's so important,
Yeah,
because part of being able to be the best version of you is to spend time with yourself,
right.
and that's something that I had to learn, like, after my divorce and after my barfy rebound, and, like, lately, it's just, like, I can notice when I need time alone, and I notice, like, when I go into work on Mondays and I haven't spent enough time alone or set myself up for the week, my energy's so low.
Mm,
And that's like spending too much time with friends or spending too much time going out. Like, you have to be able to spend time alone.
yeah.
And I think having a routine is a really good step for that
Yeah.
because you're making it around you. It's like,
Mhm.
what's going to work for you? What do I like to do? What's going to help me?
Yeah, and but it's not just like whereas like before I would clock out and then I would just kind of like lay down, do I wanna
Yeah,
work out today? Like, but I, like, look forward to when I clock out because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, I know that I'm doing this," and like, like, I just know what to expect, which helps
hmm,
me with my anxiety, and also it's 100% about me, like you said, like,
yes,
it doesn't revolve around anyone else, it's everything that I wanna do,
yes.
which is nice.
So what my other point, I forgot the other one already. So
Sorry.
the second one, um, having a space that is about you. So like decorating your room or your space the way that you like, I think is really important to
Mhm.
feeling like you can be yourself.
One thing I'll say about that is, like, you don't have to, like, spend all the money in the world
Mhm.
either. You don't even have to spend any money, but if you do have, like, a little bit that you can spend, um, our living room had not been decorated for, like, months after we moved in, and we talked about, like, when we did decorate, but, like, I finally was just like, "No, like, this is too depressing. We need something else," and went to Five Below and got a few things, and it, like, made the biggest
It
difference.
really did.
And that was, like, Five Below.
Mhm.
It's bougie on a budget.
Yes, exactly.
So, like, you don't have to have I think that's, like, the thing, like, we look at, like, everyone on TikTok, and it's all just, like, for appearances, but in reality, like, do whatever you can to make your space feel like a sanctuary,
Yeah.
and, like, it's your space.
No, for sure. And I wrote a blog post on this like after my breakup, my most recent one, which was like a few months ago at this point, so I don't even think
It
about
was
it,
a
but
while ago.
yeah,
It was, like, 6
it was like
months.
end of October.
Yeah.
Um, so we moved into our current place in August and I
Mhm.
hadn't decorated my room. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
It was just so bland and boring. And then after that happened, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to decorate. And I
Yeah.
love my room.
Yeah.
And it's totally me and I feel comfortable in there. So I just think it's really important to have a space.
I agree. Like, it's needed. It is very needed. Cause yeah, like, if you have a space where, like, every time I walk into my room, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
It's such good vibes." It's like, nothing can really go wrong.
No.
So, yeah, har I talked about the whole routine thing because it kind of leads into, like, our first one that's, like, very it girl, candles. So,
Candles.
what me and Ken's do is, like, at night, a lot of times we'll just have, like, maybe, like, a small light on well, you only have big
I
overhead
don't
punishment lights. Um,
Yeah, Haley has cute, like, fairy lights in her room. I just need to go get some. I have big light and it's horrible. But that's why I light my candles.
yeah, so, like, we'll light our candles. I like to light my candles, listen to Nights by Frank Ocean or Nikes, sorry. Listen to Nikes and sit in my chair and watch the sunset with the candles going. It
It's
just
a vibe.
it feels like the most like the ultimate it girl vibe and like I literally just feel like
Main character.
so main character, yeah, in
Mhm.
that moment. And so definitely like I would say setting aside like even 5 minutes to just look outside and just think, s preferably at sunset, but lighting candles is so nice. Like, it just sets the mood.
It does set the mood. It's really, really nice. And you can do it cheap too. They're kind of expensive. Like they're
Yeah.
getting more expensive, but also Haley and I have plans. We have a candle making kit in our Amazon cart.
Yep.
We have plans to like upcycle our jars and just make our own candles.
Yeah. So,
So it doesn't have to be expensive. You can do that.
you can go get dollar store
Yeah,
candles.
but it's really just about the vibe.
It's about the vibe. Like, the candlelight and okay, this is bad, and I know you're not supposed to do this, but we have some, like, really tall candles, and I normally keep one of those on at night because it's not gonna burn anything. Like
Yeah.
well, okay. It did burn the book last time we recorded, but it's not gonna burn anything. So, like, that's also nice too to just, like, kind of have a little bit of a nightlight with the candles, and it just feels very regal.
Had to find your word there.
Uh-huh.
Also, finding a new hobby. So for us, that's been yoga once a week. And it
I'm
has
gonna start
been,
going 3 times.
yeah, it has been life changing. We seriously look forward to it. We love it. I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not a yogi. Like, I'm not that good, but I go in there and our instructor is like the sweetest girl. It was her
She
last
is.
last time yesterday and it was so
It was
depressing.
sad.
But she just creates such a safe space. Maybe that's part of why like we like it, but
I know,
it's
I'm curious to see what, cause like, other yoga classes I've taken in my life, I never felt like
I
that.
know I always feel pressure and like I have to do everything perfect and like they'll adjust me, but she hasn't done any of that and I
No.
appreciate that.
She literally says, "If all you do tonight is come here and lay on your mat and close your eyes and breathe,"
That's
she
enough.
said, "That's more than enough."
Yeah.
Like,
She's just very affirming.
yeah, and she's always like, "Your body, your choice. If this doesn't feel good to you, do whatever." And, like, I never feel like, for some reason, last time we went, I was, like, so lightheaded, and I didn't feel like, "Oh my gosh, like, I don't wanna just go into child's pose, that's so awkward." Like, I literally was like, "No, my body, my choice. Like, I don't this
Literally.
doesn't feel good to me. I'm gonna take a few minutes." And, like, yeah, it's so nice. Like, she's so great, and the thing is too, we never like, on my vision board, at least for this year, do you have yoga on yours?
Mm-mm, I just have the gym.
So I have like a yoga class. I really wanted to incorporate yoga classes into the vision board, but I was like, "Oh, that's not going to happen till the end of the year because it's so expensive." There are cheap options out there though. If you look, just Google like yoga in my community. And you don't have to go to like a fancy studio. Most likely there's going to be something around you that is not that expensive.
Or just make your own group or go
Mhm.
on YouTube and do it.
That
Like
yeah,
there's
that's what I was going to
options for
say.
you.
Yeah.
So that's our hobby that we've found and we really like and look forward to. So it doesn't have to be yoga. It can be whatever fits for you. But I also like that it's a physical activity as well.
And it's like a sense of community, even though it's not
Yes.
like we talk to anyone there, but, like, it's a sense of community.
Yeah.
And, like, when we did, like, our last namaste as a
I
community with
know.
our
I know.
instructor, it was really sad,
It
but,
was.
um, yeah, so find a new hobby and just, like, something that you can put your time into, and kind of along with
Well, I was gonna say, like, a couple examples, like, I do paint by numbers.
mhm,
We did friendship bracelets the other night. You do diamond
coloring
painting, coloring. Like,
coloring,
there's all sorts of stuff you can do.
yeah. Yeah, just, like, find something new, something fun, and run with it. Something that you can kind of like, cause like with yoga, you're not supposed to like you're supposed to try and shut everything
Mhm.
out. When I'm like coloring, I just zone out and turn on a
Yeah.
show. Like just do something that you can just relax.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break to talk about our sponsor, BetterHelp.
It's 2023, and it's time to really prioritize our mental health this year. No matter where you are in life, everyone can benefit from therapy. Whether you need to work through trauma or just need a safe person to talk to, BetterHelp is here for you.
BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy service. Get matched with a professional licensed therapist in your state who you can trust.
BetterHelp has options to communicate with your therapist via chat, email, or video, and you can message them at any time to get help.
BetterHelp is giving our listeners 10% off if you sign up using the link in our show notes.
If you're struggling with depression, anxiety, relationships, trauma, grief, or just need someone to talk to, try BetterHelp today by clicking the link in our show notes or go to betterhelp.com/RTAFpod to get 10% off today.
All right, we're gonna go a little bit more rapid fire now. So, trying new things with friends. So, like, I think it's easy in your early 20s if you like go out and you like that for that to be the only thing you do.
Hmm.
So, find something new.
I agree, and don't just go to the same places.
Guilty.
Like us.
There's
We
safety
almost
in
branched out last
familiarity.
weekend and then we didn't.
Yeah. But
But I do like your point of like, instead of going out, like, go on a walk.
yeah, what are you just kidding.
No, well, there are other things. Like, example, I see all sorts of stuff on TikTok of like things to do with friends. Like, I save all of them and then we never do any of them,
Yeah, it's like painting
which I
candles.
want to do so bad.
I want to have a little picnic.
Like, actually going and doing it instead of just falling into the same stuff. Because, like, yeah, going out's fun, but like, you don't want it to be the only thing that you do.
Yeah.
So, definitely trying new things.
And if you don't go out, maybe you like have a book club or something and that's the only thing you do something different, you
Yeah.
know? But yeah, try new things.
I think also having some sort of creative outlet. So, like for us, this is the podcast, but I mentioned like the coloring or the paint by numbers, like something that you can be in your creative energy,
Yeah, definitely.
which also goes in line with hobbies.
Another thing that you can do is to take care of something. So, like, whether that's plants or a pet, like, just take care of something. I'm currently looking at my plant on top of my closet that's being held up by a claw clip. Um,
But you're
I
taking care of it.
I don't really know why it's dying all of a sudden, but she's very brittle, so I'm trying to keep her together. But yeah, like just take care of something. Healing energy.
Yes, giving energy. So you have G, I have my fish.
Which he's so cute.
He's so cute. He eats a lot.
Yeah.
I
But
have my
he's like very
plants.
active.
He is
Yeah.
for sure. I have my plants, which is like my main thing. Like I love when I water my plants because I put on my big headphones.
Yep.
I put something on. Today I was jamming out to In the Heights soundtrack
Yes, you were.
and you closed your door and I saw that.
Well, I was trying to work.
But yeah, so having something to take care of.
Yeah.
And even if you have one little succulent, there you go.
Yeah.
That's something.
There you go. One small detail to add, big over the ear headphones are also part of It Girl Summer.
They really are. We've adopted them. Everybody in our apartment will all have them on at one time and be doing different things and just in
And
our
we
own
all just
zones.
have big
It's
headphones.
awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so connecting with nature I think is also very important. That's something that I really want to do. So wherever you live, go out, take a daily walk.
Mhm.
Go find a state park near you or a park or somewhere new and just be outside. Sit outside and tan. We love to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're just part of It Girl Summer is just being outside.
Getting your vitamin D. We're getting tan.
Yes. And wearing sunscreen, obvi.
Yes.
Um, okay, another thing is to make a playlist or find a playlist that you love. So we have a collaborative playlist called Faves, and we just add songs that have the same vibe. Like SZA. Can't think of anyone else
Frank
right now. Frank
Ocean.
Ocean,
We have some Sabrina Carpenter. We
yeah.
have yeah, like just like songs that we like. We have some Lana.
Mhm.
Um
So if anyone wants the link, we'll send it.
you can't collaborate, but you can
But
have
you can
it.
have the link and listen.
Also, you made a playlist for the rooftop when we're tanning.
Yeah.
That's also a vibe.
Spirit of the Rooftop, but that really needs to be revised. I
Yes.
was
We need a
really
meeting on that.
yeah, so we'll meet about that later, but yeah, that just have good music, good vibes.
Branch out your music taste. We've been doing that lately,
We have
and I've been enjoying it because it just gets so stale,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Also, I think having like sunset drives with the windows down because it's been nice outside with said playlist is a vibe.
Interesting that you say with the windows down in the playlist.
Shut it.
Yesterday, Ken's confided in me that it's, like, really hard for her to have the windows down and be playing music.
When I'm on the freeway, okay. Or if it's late and there's like nobody
Well,
around.
you don't have your windows down on the freeway.
Sometimes.
Okay, but, like and which I get because it's like, "Oh, I don't want people to be, like, listening to me." So I turned on a very intense Megan song yesterday
It was literally exposure therapy.
and made her listen to it with the windows down while we drove.
And there were old people right next to us. It was actually horrible because I felt kind of bad because the music is,
No.
it's not the cleanest.
We're all
So
adults here. Come on.
it was literally exposure therapy.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like,
No, I do. I
for
do.
example, my blast the windows down when it's like sunset, summertime sadness. I think that's the whitest thing I've ever said, but it's a vibe.
And mine is Frank Ocean.
Well, that too, but that's like, oh, it's such a good song.
I know. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, here we keep going on the list. So, decluttering your space, especially your wardrobe.
Yes. I'm a huge advocate for, which I just recently did this like a month ago, so I'm not saying I'm perfect, but going through every single article of clothing. Even my winter clothes that are under my bed in a tote, I went through every single article of clothing and got rid of a lot of
Yeah.
clothes, like 3 bags. Because it was just all that stuff that I was like, "Oh, I'll wear that maybe for this occasion or
Mhm.
you're never gonna wear it. So, it's better to have less clothing that you're actually gonna wear than more that you're never gonna wear.
'Cause here's the thing that I've realized, I wear the same stuff anyway.
Everyone
Even if
does.
my closet was twice the size it is now, I would still wear the same stuff.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter, and when the weather's, like, consistently nice, I'm gonna do that same thing. Cause I was looking through today and I was like, "When was the last time I wore this sweater?"
Yeah.
I bought it, wore it once, don't even remember when.
No, it's true, and, like, we all have that. So, declutter, just clear out any of that
Less to hold
space.
on to, and
Yeah.
we don't even remember
I know,
things that we let
I
go
have
of.
not looked and it's been, like, a month, maybe a month and a half, and I haven't been like, "Oh, where's that shirt?" I don't even
No,
remember anything that I donated.
that's so bad.
Yeah, so, definitely do that. Another one is to have, like, a signature drinkity drink. So, I'm making an official declaration that the drinkity drink of It Girl Summer is Shirley Temple's. So, go and get your grenadine, go and get your cherries, get a cute little It Girl looking cup. We got ours from Walmart,
Literally for, like,
$2,
$2.
but they're so cute and they look so
Aesthetic?
aesthetic. And then get your Sprite and go outside, tan, have your little drinkity drink. Um, we use ginger ale in ours just because I always have ginger ale. Um, like it's something special. Um, but yeah, so like just make your little drinkity drink and have that as your little treat, you
Yeah.
know?
Whatever you want. Doesn't have to be a Shirley
No, no, it
Temple.
doesn't have to be a Shirley Temple. I'm just kind of like
An example.
declaring it as the drinkity drink of
For
It Girl
your It
Summer.
Girl Summer.
No, I know, but like I want it to be everyone's.
'Cause my drinkity drink is an ice cold Coke.
Okay.
So, that's mine.
Just yeah, just something like summery and fun. But like don't drink it out of the can.
No, you
Put it
put
in
it
a
in a
cup.
cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Actually getting ready for the day. And something that I wanna, like, emphasize is, like, finding an accessory that you like. So, I'm, like, really into, like, rings, and I have a couple staple necklaces that I rotate, but I love rings so much, and that's, like, my accessory.
Yeah.
So, when you, like, actually get ready and you're wearing stuff that you like, that is so it girl. That's, like, your full form.
Yes. I this week have started actually getting ready for the day. Because normally I just wear all day boxers and a sweatshirt, which is what I sleep in. Maybe
Are you kidding
Alexa,
me, Alexa?
stop. Okay. Um, yeah, maybe I'll change it to a t-shirt and boxers like midday if I get hot, but it's bad. And so I realized like in the morning I'm going to just change my clothes cuz like it's
Even if
hard.
it's, like, a different pair of you don't change your clothes from what you sleep in?
No.
Okay.
This is a safe space.
It is a safe space, fine, no judgment.
But normally I'll change it
I just
like
can't do that.
I'll normally change like midday. I don't just keep the same clothes on for like 3 days on end.
Okay, so I know. So even if you get up and you put on, like, leggings and a
Yeah.
t-shirt,
Yeah.
just get ready, do your skincare, do
Yeah.
your hair, accessorize a little bit.
I feel judged. And I feel like I maybe shouldn't have shared that detail. But you know what? I don't care because there's other work from home girlies, and I know you guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And
If I worked
I
from
know
home,
you'd
I
be
would
doing the
do that
same thing.
too.
So, but yeah. So I think the most important one is to just be absolutely off the walls delusional, um, in the name of manifestation. So
But that's what manifestation
yeah, it
is.
is. It's but like
So we're gonna be extra delusional.
yeah, just like be delusional about like everything in your life. Like for example, like what's an example? It's almost
Like
like gaslighting yourself. But, like, all the examples I'm
like,
thinking about right now, I
okay,
don't
for
wanna share.
example, if you are trying to have more self-love or more self-confidence, there's a phase where you have to be delusional. Like, I am the baddest one here.
Yeah.
I look so good, even if it's not how you feel. I am so confident.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it feels like you're being delusional because you're like, no, I don't feel that way.
But you're
But
just manifesting the energy that you want.
exactly. And then soon enough, you're going to be so confident, nothing's going to phase you.
Right.
So there's an example.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, delusional, like that's like a kind of a funny term,
Funny.
but it really is just like manifest the life that you want by just telling yourself like that's how it is.
Hmm.
And we're experiencing that right now. Like it's great.
It is great.
So, yeah, be delusional.
Be Delulu.
Be Delulu. We're all a little Delulu.
Okay, last one is having something to look forward to. That can be like a big trip, small trip, an event, time with your friends, anything. But having things to look forward to is really important. Like my calendar is booked a week in advance. So when I go into work Monday, I'm like, okay, this weekend I know what I'm doing and I'm super excited. And you have something to get you through that week, something to look forward to. What was I going to say right there?
For the people who don't plan a week ahead, um, at least have something to look forward to every day. So like that for me, like that's my routine.
No, literally. Okay, I can speak on that because one of my journal prompts that I do every day, I'm not the best journaler. When I journal, one of my prompts is what was my vacation for the day? And I saw that on TikTok
Oh,
somewhere. But like, I'll be journaling after work and I'm like, nothing. But then I really have to think about my day.
yeah.
So finding a little vacation.
Um, Remember when we were at Target like last week and I was like, "Oh, I should get a journal and like actually start writing down my feelings." And you were like, "You definitely should. Like that's really good for you." And then I was like, "Meh, I'll sit on it."
Yeah, we haven't talked about it since.
No. But yeah, just have something to look forward to. Be excited. Obviously, there's hard things. Everyone's going through hard things.
Yeah, we're not going to have toxic positivity this
No.
summer. But it
That
is
I
okay.
was going to say
Okay.
okay.
That was very intense.
But I was going to say part of all of that is feeling all of your energy and when we had our aunt Aubrey on the podcast like kind of recently,
Yeah, a couple
um
months ago.
I like recently talked to her and was just like kind of talking to her about some things I'm going through and she was just telling me like you need to allow yourself to feel all your energy. So if that means you're crying 12 hours out of the day, but
You're crying 12 hours out of the day.
but you're showing up for the things you need to, like let yourself feel
Yep.
or else you're going to bottle it up. So, you know, we're being delusional this summer, but we're also feeling all of our emotions.
Yeah, it's super, super important. I
Yeah.
learned that last year. You have to do that.
Mhm. And not be like, why am I crying again? Or like, why am I upset? It's like, it's fine. You just
It
are.
is fine. And
So,
then you journal or you talk about it with a loved one or a friend, or you go to therapy. You do something about it. You go on a walk, but let that energy out. It's obviously trying to come out in that way.
mhm.
So just feel it.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, we are just going to have the ultimate It Girl Summer and we're all doing it together. And also It Girl Summer, it's not gendered. So like it's the term It Girl Summer, but just like Healing Girl Summer, like this is for
Just be your
everyone.
best self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even for example, like our dad, he can have his It Girl Summer. You know? Like that's what I'm saying. It's
Yes.
for everyone. So, yeah.
We're going to wrap up this episode. Follow us on our socials at Real Talk About Feminism Pod. That's for TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get on our weekly email newsletter. It's once a week. We will send a link on stories, so be sure to subscribe. You can subscribe on with the show notes below as usual. So go connect with us on all of our platforms, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye guys.
Bye.